All right, Miss Lindsay. These videos are going to help you with the questions on CR 27. You had approached me today and asked me if I could make some videos, so here we go. All right, let's take a look at number one. Again, this is from CR 27, Lindsay. Number one says the equation y equals 33x describes the number of minutes x it takes a printer to print y pages in black and white. All right. The table shows the number of minutes x it takes a printer to print y pages in color. Which kind of page can the printer print faster? Explain your answer. Okay, so they give you a table to describe for the colored pages. So the table to print pages in color. So this is the color pages. Then they give you an equation for the black and white pages. So let's take a look at that equation. So to print the black and white pages, y equals 33x. All right. Well, as I look at this table, I say, well, wouldn't it be good if I had a table for black and white? It might be easier to compare them. Because sometimes if we put information in the same form, it's just easier to compare. So we could either take this table, make it an equation to compare it, or take our equation and make a table to compare the information. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a look at a table, and I'm going to say x is my number of minutes. And I'm going to say y is my number of pages that can be printed. Then I'm just going to use the same number of minutes that we used over here. It just makes it easier to compare. Of course, there's lots of ways to go about this problem. We could use a unit rate and see how fast this is per minute, how many black and white pages you can get. Over here, we could figure out in per minute how many colored pages and then compare. But for now, I'll just make, wow, that's ugly. For right now, I'll go ahead and just make a similar table. So if you have y equals 33x, that means 33 times x. Let's see how many pages could get printed after 2 minutes. So y equals 33 times 2. Oh, 33 times 2 is 66 pages. Okay. Well, colored printer, after 2 minutes, they can only print 52 pages. And I could continue this process. I'll do it for 5 minutes also. Y equals 33 times 5 for our black and white. I'm going to grab a calculator to support me on that one just to make my life easier. So 33 times 5 is 165. All right. So after 5 minutes, you can get 165 black and white pages. After 5 minutes of colored printer, you only get 130 pages. Well, which kind of page can the printer print faster? Well, it sure looks here like black and white prints pages faster, which makes sense. Black and white is easier for the printer to make, so it can print it quite a bit faster, which is great. Okay, so black and white. You could say after 2 minutes, print 66 pages. And for color, after 2 minutes, only prints 52 pages. So the black and white's definitely faster. We could have also found per minute. So if it's 52 pages in 2 minutes, if you took 52 and divided by 2 for your colored printer, if you took 52 and divided by 2 for your colored printer, you would get 26 pages per minute. So the colored printer can print 26 pages per minute. Sorry, let me go back. And if you look here at the black and white, if I put a 1 in place of x, 33 times 1 is 33. So for the black and white, that rate of change gives it away. Black and white can print 33 pages per minute. Definitely faster. Sorry, I keep hopping screens on you, Lindsay. So the black and white is definitely quicker. Lots of ways to go about and show this. You could have compared the tables, just looked for a certain number of minutes, saw which printer printed faster. Doesn't matter to me if you go for 1 minute, 2 minutes, if you compare them at 5 minutes. Any step of the way, black and white is definitely going to be faster. I hope that helps. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, number 2. It says function P is a linear function with a y-intercept of 5. All right. Function Q is defined by the equation y equals negative 1/3 x plus 4. Which statement must be true about functions P and Q? All right, well, let's just compare the functions. I am so sorry, Lindsay. All right, let's just go ahead and compare the functions. So function P, we know some information about. And function Q, we know some information about. It looks like the only thing we know about function P is it is a linear function, so it will be a straight line. We don't know if it's has a positive slope or a negative slope. It doesn't tell us that, but we know P is going to be a straight line. The only thing we know is it has a y-intercept of 5. Okay, so the only thing we know about function P is it crosses the y-axis up here at 5. That's all we know about function P. That's all the information they give us. So if I look at a y-intercept, what are the coordinates of a y-intercept? Well, I don't move anywhere left or right. I move up 5. Don't move anywhere left or right, so that first coordinate is 0, and I move up 5. So really the only thing I know about function P, the only information they give us is that it is a straight line, and it crosses the y-axis up at 5. 0, 5 would be the coordinate. Let's see what we know about function Q. Function Q, they tell us y equals negative 1/3 x plus 4. So function Q, if you remember y equals mx plus b, they actually give us the slope for function Q and they give us the y-intercept. They give us a little more information about function Q. So if I look at function Q, I know my slope is negative 1/3. So it's going to be a negative slope. It's going to be going down as I move left to right. It's linear because it fits this form. So it's going to be a straight line if it fits that form going down. We know the slope is negative 1/3, a little gradual decline. And we know the y-intercept is 4. So again, on the y-axis, up 1, 2, 3, 4. We know it's going to cross here at 0, 4. And it's going to go down 1, right 3, down 1, right 3. So this line's going to look something like that. Okay, and they want us to just compare these. It says both functions have the same slope. Well, we don't have any idea what the slope of function P is. The only thing they gave us was the y-intercept. So I know the slope of function Q. I have no idea what the slope of function P is. That doesn't have an option. Doesn't have a possibility of being answered. Both functions have a negative slope. Well, function Q has a negative slope, but as we talked, we only know about the y-intercept of function P. I don't know if it has a positive or negative slope. I wasn't given that information. All right, the functions will have the same input when y equals 0. I have to tell you, the only thing we know about function P is the y-intercept. Y-intercept, the x is 0 and the y is 5. That's all I know. I don't have a clue. I'm not given any points where y is 0. I have no clue. So no, I can't give you any information about P when y is 0. So it's got to be this. The functions have different outputs when x is 0. Okay, well that I do know something about. For function P, when x is 0, the output is 5. And for function Q, when x is 0, the output is 4. the y values would be your output. Okay, so definitely they have different outputs. Function P has an output of 5 when x is 0. Function Q has an output of 4 when x is 0. So there you go. That's number 2. Let's move on. Let's take a look at number 3. It says, given the fact that triangle RST is similar to triangle ABC, what is the value of x? Okay, well, hopefully you know that this symbol means similar. And similar triangles corresponding angles are congruent or have the same measure. So if I look here at angle R, that has the exact same measure as angle A. Okay, this is a blown up version, a dilation of SRT, but the angles will remain the same because you're told they're similar. So angle R and angle A are the same. Okay, angle R has the same measure as angle A. Has the same measure means they're equal. So if I take angle R, which is x plus 6, I can set that equal to angle A, which is 2x minus 7, and I can find my value of x. At this point, it's no longer a geometry problem. Now we're just solving an equation. So I'm going to move all of my constants to the right, all of my x values to the left. And again, you might choose to do this, solve this differently. This is how I would personally solve it. I'm going to move all my constants to the right. What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 6 on the left. If I subtract 6 on the left, I subtract 6 on the right. So I have x equals 2x minus 7 minus 6 more is a minus 13. And now I got to move all my x's over to the left. First of all, the coefficient of that x is a 1. If I want to move the 2x to the left, I'd subtract 2x over here on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So I must also subtract 2x on the left so that the two sides remain equivalent. 1x minus 2x is a negative 1x equals, I still have negative 13 on this side. Operation between the negative 1 and the x is multiplication. How do I undo multiplication? I undo multiplication with division. So I'm going to divide the left side by negative 1. I divide the left side by negative 1 to get x all by itself. I must divide the right-hand side of my equal sign by negative 1. But by negative 1s. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is a fancy form of 1. So I have x equals negative divided by negative is a positive. 13 divided by 1 is 13. So x equals 13. Let me just read over the next problem. I don't think I'll have time to do it. Nope, I think I'll save this for the next video, Lindsay. All right, so there we have it. There's questions 1 through 3 on CR 27 for you, Lindsay. Hopefully that helps.